Welcome to Indigos Gaming. Today's guide is for the achievement Thanks for the Advice on the mission The Dig in the Wings of Liberty campaign. First, I will do a walkthrough on Normal to show the strategy. After that, I will do a walkthrough on Brutal.
Watch your corners, boys. We don't know who cleaned this place out.
You gonna give me orders?
Welcome to the Normal walkthrough for the achievement Thanks for the Advice.
More tearing beings. The mysteries of this place are forbidden. You will pay for your transgressions with your lives.
Okay. At least we know. Hold up there. Those Protoss cannons will tear us a new one if we try to advance. Come on. You promised me siege tanks. Where are they?
Settle down, hotshot. They're coming. That's good. These babies will knock those homes down from a nice safe distance. Armed and ready.
The achievement's requirements are to complete the entire mission without killing an enemy unit using the laser drill. What laser drill, you ask? That laser drill. You do not actually get control of the drill until you get to the base, so there's nothing to worry about in the first stage. I'm just gonna get everything there.
Work just like the old ones. When you put them in siege mode, they get increased range and firepower. They can't move in siege mode, so if you need to reposition them, just switch them back into tank mode. You got it? Oh yeah. Give up!
Let's get some siege tanks deployed on the high ground. They can pound that Protoss stalker before it even gets close to us.
Good. Armed and ready. Sure. What's that? Who wants some?
Easy enough. That should be everything.
Been waiting on you.
Mobius base local net accessed.
You get access to the Terran base, and now the rest of the mission is a holdout.
Fired up. 174 gigawatts. The
It's a
power
big
of the
gun.
sun at your fingertips. Now get it aimed at that door and let's
Moving on. Get your base up and running.
better be good. Go ahead.
Eventually in the mission, you gain control of the laser drill.
Siege tanks defending that laser drill. We got no chance of claiming the artifact without it.
However, the achievement requires you to kill nothing with the drill. Really. It says enemy units, but why push it? Eventually there's a bonus objective, too, to open up some buildings to get Protoss research. I believe it was hotfixed so that you could destroy those buildings, but I see no reason to press it if all you're interested in is the achievement.
What's left of the Mobius Expedition sensor net. I'll route it through your map so you can see what the Tal'Darim are up to.
What's going
Add
on?
on.
SCV ready. Yeah. Who wants some?
Right now I'm just focused on getting defenses at these two main entrances to the base. The entire mission objective is just protecting this drill as it cuts its way through the door.
Not enough minerals.
I'm in deep.
Additional supply depots required.
Sure thing. Uh-huh. You gonna give me orders? Gotta hold this better be good.
Position siege tanks on both sides, bunkers at the entrances.
In the rear with the
Don't get massively supply blocked.
speak up.
The usual. I don't need a missile turret just yet,
Jordan.
but you can build additional bunkers.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
There we go. Get some Marines in both bunkers. Eventually, you'll want to take this expansion next to your base and move your defenses up to this further choke point, so that way you get extra income.
Additional supply depots required.
Nothing too scary coming out from the Protoss just yet. Can fully wall off the left side, since there's nothing over here that you're going to need later, such as the expansion.
Bad news. Ah, you scared me. SCV ready.
If you have the concussive shells upgrade for your marauders, I highly recommend putting a marauder or two in the bunkers, so that way units such as zealots are slowed as they approach your bunkers. Gives more time for your units to shoot the bad guys.
SCV ready.
I'm just building Marines and bunkers. I'm making siege tanks.
SCV ready.
Protoss are coming out with some heavy hitters now. I should get control of the drill shortly, which I'm not going to use.
SCV ready.
You would desecrate that which belongs to the gods. This will not be borne by the faithful.
Sir, those are Protoss Archons. If they get too close, our men won't stand a chance. I'm giving you manual control of the laser drill. See if you can use it against the Protoss.
All right, you heard the man. Swing that laser around. We can use it to drive back the Protoss.
Don't listen to them.
Upgrade.
With enough time and siege tanks, none of these units should press any concern.
SCV ready.
Keep a couple SCVs at the wall for repairs. But nothing's looking too scary.
Additional supply depots.
SCV ready.
Go build a missile turret here.
Yeah.
I want to say there are a couple points in the mission where you'll be attacked by air units.
The laser drill has breached the door's outer layer.
And I want to say that's even further amplified on brutal difficulty, where they have things like carriers and void rays in addition to things like warp prisms.
SCV ready. Go, go, go.
Natural base has finished, and I don't see any Protoss out on the map right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this expansion.
Gotcha. Big job, huh? Yeah, yeah. Up, ready to go. This better be good. Go ahead. Been waiting on
You don't really need to keep these bunkers at the top manned if you're making forces down on the low ground, because if they break through the low ground, you're already in a bit of trouble.
Enemy air units on approach vector.
Damn it. Air units, nothing. Those are transports. Use the laser to knock them down fast.
You don't need to use the laser drill, because the Protoss are polite enough to fly their warp prisms into your missile turrets.
in the rear.
How nice is that? If only that could happen in multiplayer, right?
Yeah, whatever. Give us your best shot. SCV
Get these
ready.
tanks repositioned so that they can have a bit more range.
enough minerals. Additional supply depots required. Not enough minerals.
I'm gonna build a planetary fortress for the wall.
Protoss relics in the area. I'm marking them on your map.
So now Matt is talking about the bonus objective.
Well, if there's time, we can blast them free with a laser drill. I bet Stedman would love to study them.
Let's have a blast.
Additional supply depots required.
Just say what say the word. Go, go, go! Time's a waste. Armed and ready.
Additional supply depots required.
Big job, huh?
Make supply depots faster, SCV. Make sure you get upgrades from your engineering bay and your armory. Upgrades to the siege tanks are definitely helpful.
In the rear. I can't build here. What's going
Don't actually have any SCVs at the wall here.
SCV ready.
I'm going to land this command center in a way that I'm actually going to bring my army back on the other side of the wall first, make a planetary.
You scared me.
The laser drill is now cutting through the door's thermal barrier.
Keep your shirt on.
Want that marauder in there.
Big job, huh? Bad news?
Bunkers are all full. Planetary is making. Bring SCV on the correct side of the wall.
Upgrade complete.
Pull a few more for this top wall. And now just position siege tanks accordingly.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
SCV ready.
Actually saturate the refineries.
Go ahead.
Definitely helpful.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Go, go, go. SCV ready. Fueled up, ready to go. Rock and roll.
Protoss still coming out with ground forces, Archons, Immortals, Colossi, all make an appearance,
Bad news?
but get a high enough siege tank count, and none of it matters.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Go ahead. Armed and ready.
I'm going to keep a group of Marines
Upgrade.
next to the drill in case they do any more shenanigans with warp prisms and air units and the like.
SCV ready.
Mineral field depleted.
Ready to roll out. It's all me. What's going on? SCV ready.
Anything over here I'll import. Protoss cannon. Don't make that mad.
Add-on complete. Upgrade complete.
This better be good.
And other than that, there's a bit of downtime, it looks like. Both walls are built up with bunkers, siege tanks, planetary. I don't think there's really anything to be concerned about here.
We gotta take them out, or they'll keep dropping troops right on top of us.
Missile turret doing well here. So they did run warp prisms next to that laser drill, which means that the Marines were quite helpful. Taking that out.
Something's blown up.
Other than that, feeling like a pretty easy achievement.
Thermal barrier breached. The
Get
laser
plus
drill is
2.
now cutting through the core.
Befoul. That's a bit strong of a word, don't you think? Bringing out Colossus and Colossi. I don't have access to Vikings because I did not do that mission before doing this. If you do have access to Vikings when you do this, feel free to make them. They help out a great deal against Colossi and the Warp Prism attacks.
Roger. Been waiting on you. SCV ready.
Normally during this time, when the Protoss is getting ready to attack, you would be using the laser drill to take out these key units, such as the Archons and the Colossi. However, the achievement is to kill nothing with the laser drill, so I am left with a bit of downtime while I wait for the Protoss to blindly throw themselves at my siege tanks.
Mineral field depleted.
Well, that one's actually almost walked up a cliff. That could have been a good play.
Mineral field depleted.
Keep making siege tanks, because why not? SCV cannot get to that missile turret to repair it unless I move my siege tanks, which I will probably do after these units come.
Upgrade complete.
No problem whatsoever. See, the SCVs got excited. They couldn't wait to get in there and repair that turret.
Upgrade.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep one over there so he can be happy. While you're doing the mission, you can check your progress by looking at the health bar in the upper part of the screen. I have part of it covered by my difficulty note, but you can still see the number going down. I just crossed 14,000 health remaining on the door. And the only way to reduce that door's health is with the laser drill. When the drill is not being told to attack something, it is opening the door for the mission. And since for the achievement we're attacking nothing with the door, theoretically the door will be opened as quickly as it possibly can. Have some siege tanks for my siege tanks here.
Upgrade complete.
How many siege tanks total? 24 siege tanks total.
Upgrade complete.
It's a pretty good number. All with +2 attack.
There's another wave of air units heading your way.
These guys just won't give up. Stick it to them, boys.
Missile turrets by the laser drill. Do an excellent job at shutting that down. Now there's only about 6,000 health on the door. Feel free to just sit back and watch the achievement roll in. You know you want to throw those units at my siege tanks. It worked so well for you the other 36 times. Yes. Bring the Colossus.
Breach of the doorway core is imminent. Structured access imminent.
It is our sacred duty to stop these defilers. Burn them to ashes.
That guy played Brood War. He thinks there's defilers here.
Mineral field depleted.
Tell him there have not been defilers in quite some time.
Mineral field.
The door is open.
You have prevailed for now.
You can skip the cutscene.
This sacred
Voila. Thanks for the advice obtained on normal difficulty. Overall, I think quite an easy achievement. Get enough siege tanks at those two entrances, build up some bunkers, fill them with marines, marauders, whatever you feel like. Just get enough forces and you don't have to worry about hardly anything. Keep some missile turrets and some marines by the drill because of those air attacks that happen just a few times. And now for the brutal walkthrough.
Watch your corners, boys. We don't know who cleaned this place out.
Better be good.
Welcome to the brutal walkthrough for the achievement. Thanks for the advice.
more tearing beams. The mysteries of this place are forbidden. You will pay for your transgressions with your lives.
Okay. At least we know what happened to the other expedition.
Sure.
Hold up there. Those Protoss cannons will tear us a new one if we try to advance. Swan, you promised me siege tanks. Where are they?
Settle down, hotshot. They're coming. These babies will knock those cannons down from a nice, safe distance.
The achievement's requirements are to complete the entire mission without using the laser drill. Where is this magical laser drill, you ask? There it is. It's in the Terran base, which you do not get access to until you finish this little
Put them
introduction.
in siege mode, they get increased range and firepower. They can't move in siege mode, so if you need to reposition them, just switch them back into tank mode. You got it? This better be good.
Let's get some siege tanks deployed on the high ground. They can pound that Protoss stalker before it even gets close to us.
10-4. Can't wait. Wait, this better be good.
Easy enough. And now you'll get access to the base.
Got no patience. By the numbers, boys.
You can skip the cutscene. From here, get your SCVs going.
Big job, huh?
Start taking that natural expansion right away.
Siege tanks defending that laser drill. We got no chance of claiming the artifact without it.
Want some?
Not enough minerals.
I definitely recommend taking a second to save your game here because of how difficult and trial and error this part of the mission may be for you. Start getting that natural expansion up. Move all your forces to the left side because this group of Protoss will attack you first.
Sir, I've managed to access what's left of the Mobius Expedition sensor net. I'll route it through your map so you can see what the Tal'Darim are up to.
You gonna give me? Huh? Move it.
Not enough
Just
minerals.
focus on getting your production started.
Ready.
Make a siege tank. Early on, you're going to have to move your forces back and forth between entrances to defend both locations, simply because you do not have enough units to get full walls going.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
By the numbers. SCV ready.
Alright, attacks defended. I'm just repositioning everything.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
This better be good.
I'm waiting to see which area the Protoss are going to come from next, so I can better predict where to put my forces.
Not enough minerals.
Ready to roll out. Speak up. Been waiting. Who wants some? What's that? SCV ready. Man the rear. Gangway.
Alright, I see Protoss coming on this right side next.
SCV ready. Yes, sir. Armed and ready.
I'm gonna see actually if I can pull this group
You gonna give me orders?
back to my siege tanks early. Well, I can get one of them at least.
Roger that. Got it.
There we go.
SCV ready.
So that way I have more time to prepare.
Been waiting on. Go ahead. Yo. By the numbers. Got no patience for
I see units coming on this upper left side now. And I'm still just making SCVs, trying to get everything in place.
That's fine. Sure.
Additional supply depots required.
Armed and ready.
If you have Planetary Fortress Research unlocked for your command centers, I highly recommend you build those at the walls, because they are just fantastic. Tanky, high damage output against ground units. They'll really help even out some odds.
You gonna give me orders? Go ahead. SCV ready.
Additional supply depots required.
You would desecrate that which belongs to the gods. This will not be borne by the faithful.
Command center's finishing.
Those are Protoss Archons. If they get too close, our men won't stand a chance. I'm giving you manual control of the laser drill. See if you can use it against the Protoss.
All right, you heard the man. Swing that laser around. We can use it to drive back the Protoss.
Looking forward to it.
Archons and Immortals are coming. Hey, I kind of freaked out there.
Upgrade complete.
Putting everything in place. And now they're going to come on this right side.
Base is under attack.
Command center should be okay.
The laser drill has breached the door's outer layer.
Alright. Moving siege tanks around. I'm going to start taking extra gases now.
Base is under attack. Upgrade complete.
Want a piece of me, boy? SCV ready. Ah! You scared me! Bad news? By the numbers. You SCV ready. Been waiting on armed and ready. SCV ready. Goliath online.
Get extra Marines and Goliaths to help protect these siege tanks. which I wouldn't mind marauders to put in the bunkers. So that way both sides have concussive shells.
Damn it. Air units, nothing. Those are transports. Use the laser to knock them down fast.
These are under attack. Base is under attack.
Oh. Definitely don't lose the planetary.
Gangway, coming through. You gonna give me orders?
What's our target?
Alright. Looks like stabilized.
Good. Armed and ready. Been waiting on you.
Additional
Start making
supply
tanks.
depots required.
Don't get massively supply blocked.
What's that?
Sir, I'm picking up the energy signatures of several Protoss relics in the area. I'm marking them on your map.
Additional supply depots required.
Well, if there's time, we can blast them free with a laser drill. I bet Stedman would love to study them.
Get an armory, extra factory.
Who wants some?
Go ahead. SCV ready.
Base is under attack.
PCB boy.
Both walls looking pretty solid right now. Start getting upgrades.
Good job, huh? Huh? Pay the re-
Ready to go. SCV ready.
My goodness, those immortals are strong.
Gangway, coming through.
Wings of Liberty immortals, holy crap.
You gonna get
SCV ready. Fueled up, ready to go.
Definitely keep SCVs at the walls for repair.
SCV ready.
The laser drill is now cutting through the door's thermal barrier.
SCV ready.
Yep. Who wants some?
SCV ready.
You have minerals, get back.
What's going on? SCV ready.
Additional
SCV ready. I can't build here. SCV ready. Yo.
I'm gonna make some extra turrets around the laser drill,
add-on.
because they have a habit of sending air units.
SCV ready.
Oh yeah.
Looks like everything's going just fine there.
Ready to roll out. Rock and roll.
Upgrade complete.
My goodness. Going just fine though. Keep making siege tanks. Don't forget your upgrades. Really help out vehicle and infantry.
Ready to roll out. SCV ready.
If you do not have the planetary fortress research, I definitely feel like it helps, but this is doable without it. What you would need to do is set up a bunker line then. Probably at least 2, maybe even 3 bunkers with depots to support it, and then just build your siege tanks behind that line. It is definitely doable without planetary fortress though.
Go ahead.
since there's a lull in everything right now, I'm going to let the SCVs repair.
Sir, more air units inbound.
We gotta take them out, or they'll keep dropping troops right on top of us.
Base is under attack.
Goliaths really help out against the air units. Send my Marines outside the wall to take care of that carrier and Void Ray there.
Thermal barrier breached. The laser drill is now cutting through the core.
They seek to befoul the legacy of the gods.
Why on earth are you SCVs out there? Trying to repair that turret, maybe?
Go ahead. This better be good. What's our target? Need something loaded up? Ah, go ahead. Ready to roll out. SCV ready.
More tanks up the line. Other than that, I'm feeling pretty confident in the setup. Enough that now it should feel a bit more relaxed. Definitely scary at the start, having to move your forces back and forth to deal with all of the threats. But at this point now, it's looking okay.
That's a negatory. It's blocked. I'm going. Sure thing.
Let the Protoss throw themselves at the wall.
Armed and ready.
Definitely enough siege tanks on both sides now that I'm not concerned. Storming the SCVs is a bit mean. And the turret at the front of the wall helping out against Colossus.
SCV
Who'd
ready.
have thought?
Go ahead.
Can you guys get back over here? Yeah. Losing the turrets at the front. I think there's only one more air attack. But nonetheless, those turrets help out.
What's going on? Ah, you scared me.
Archons. I think the scariest thing about this has got to be the Immortals, actually.
Field depleted.
Those Wings of Liberty Immortals
Depleted.
take a lot less damage from siege tanks until their shields break. So definitely it takes more shots to get those Immortals down. Looking okay here.
Go ahead.
Upgrade.
Fueled up, ready to go. What's our target?
Keep adding on siege tanks,
Geyser exhausted.
because having some tanks with your tanks is a good idea. With this mission, there is the bonus objective of destroying these buildings with the laser drill. I believe it was hotfixed to where you could get that research and still get the achievement, but if all you care about is the achievement, why push your luck? Just focus on the mission and ignore the extra bonus objectives. And as far as the mission time is concerned, the mission objective is to use the laser drill to open up the door, and you can see your progress in the upper part of the screen. There is a health bar for that door that's counting down. I'm currently at 11,000 health remaining, which means there's not a lot of time left on the mission.
Mineral field depleted.
Put you over there. How many siege tanks do I have total?
There's another wave of air units heading your way.
22. We can do better than that. More air units. Carrier.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Gonna need to bring my Marines to help out with that. Looking like help up here too. Alright. Everything looks cleaned up. Eventually. Get 'em, Marines.
Vespine Geyser exhausted. Upgrade.
Yeah.
Breach of the doorway core is imminent. Structural access imminent.
It is our sacred duty to stop these defilers. Burn them to ashes.
So now they are constantly attacking, but the door's health is so low that it should not matter at all. They cannot break this wall in such a quick amount of time. Certainly put the hurt on the SCV. They were the real victims here. There you go. Skip the cutscene. Voila. Thanks for the advice. Completed on normal and brutal difficulties. Definitely a bit more strenuous of a mission to do on brutal. You can normally use the drill to take out those key units like Immortals, Archons, Colossus carriers, etc. But without the drill, you're left to juggle your forces back and forth, and then just get up a high number of siege tanks. I definitely recommend keeping a mobile group of Marines and Goliaths too, so you can deal with those air units. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching.